Hi, my beautiful collective. Okay, so let's jump into the message. I'm getting that somebody is wanting to know what it is you're doing, like what you're up to nowadays, what's going on with you. Specific, I don't know. Listen, take this message as it resonates. It's not going to resonate with all of you, but somebody's particularly curious as to what you are doing, like right this second. But like, I kept hearing that. So just like, what are you doing? What are you up to? What are you doing? So I don't know who this is that's inquiring about what you got going on lately or what it is you're doing, but they're really persistent in wanting to know what it is you're doing. It's kind of giving me like the child that's just like always on top of the mom and like always needs to be near the mom and always needs to know what your mom is doing. Like, let's say your mom goes out to like run an errand and they're just there like, okay, but where are you going? Which one are you going to? What are you gonna do there? How long are you gonna be there? What time are you getting back? Like, tracking you. I don't know, that's only for some of you, but somebody's just like wanting to know where you're at all times and what it is you got going on. All right, so you're gonna know if this message is for you. You're gonna feel something in your body to let you know if this message is for you. Okay, so do not force any of the messages to fit, but you have somebody really, really wondering like what it is you're doing lately. I kind of feel like in some way this affects them. Why? Because the way that they were asking it was like, it's more than just wanting to know what it is you're doing for the time being. It's like, what are you doing to me, like in a way that affects them? It's like whatever you're doing is affecting somebody and they're wanting to know more about why that is. But I feel like this person knows why you affect them and how you affect them. It's just like, it's just like something that this energy cannot resist or cannot look away from or can't help but see and like notice about you and how you affect them. You affect them in many ways. I don't know if this person was expecting it or if this person really read the energy correctly between you two, but it just feels like they're wondering about, you know, why that is, how that is. Like, for some of you, somebody's wondering about how you still affect them, why it is you still affect them, and them wanting to get to the bottom of it, them wanting to know more on why. Something about, oh, you know what's so funny? This morning when I was getting up, something really interesting happened. It felt like something activating, like, oh, it's 444 right now. It felt like something activating, but from like a past life, if you know what I'm talking about, like a remembrance of something from the past, like way back when, okay? But like in a familiar way, like, okay, like this is something that I know of. Like, I'm familiar with this because I knew about it before. Even though I can't explain how I knew about this, it just feels familiar. So this almost feels like soul family. You could be coming more into alignment with your soul family at this time, with people that are meant to be in your energy and the people that you're meant to be around. When I think about soul family personally, I feel like it's about people that you're meant to share your journey with and you're meant to share theirs as well. This could look like a lot of different things. This could look like friends, family, partners, anybody else in your extended family, or maybe just somebody that you know of, a coworker that you're aware of, somebody that feels close to you, somebody that feels like home, that feels like family, right? But I feel like these kinds of people come into your life and you're attracted to certain people to get you on your mission or to get you to remember your mission or to get you closer to where exactly you need to go in life and what direction you're headed in. It's not about working and dying, people. It's about living your life as well. It's about the people's life that you affect as you go, as you walk on your journey. It's not just about doing something just one way. A lot of people think life is just about working, reproducing, and then you're passing away. Like, it's not just about that. I feel like I wish more people realize that it's not just about that. It's not about making all the money that you can make either. It's about, yes, you can aspire to live a comfortable life in that way, but it's more so about your experiences. It's more so about what you bring down to this earth, the vibration that you illuminate, okay? It's about how you connect with people. It's about how you treat yourself. It's about how you treat others. It's about how you connect with God. It's about your morals, your values. It's about like what it took to get to where you are, where you still are right now, and the celebration of life, okay? There's a lot of people that think that you have to live life one way or you have to think one way until you pass over, but that's not the case. And I feel like that's why you meet certain people on your path. That's why you interact and have certain conversations. That's why you get asked certain questions. That's why your attention is drawn to certain things, okay? Especially if you notice that you've always lived life in a pattern and now you're breaking out of that pattern and you're seeing a life in a different perspective and a different vantage point. Is something about you now asking those questions to yourself, you now seeing a difference in something, and you're realizing that life is not about black and white. It's not just about black, it's not about living and seeing life in black and white. You got to see life in color sometimes too, to actually live it and be in it and say that you are here, okay? It's so funny because when I looked outside, I saw two people in the window, and then like it looked like they closed the blinds, but to me it looked like a door. I don't know. But anyway, what I was remembering this morning, or just like the vibration or the energy, was to celebrate life more, to live in the now, to be present. Okay, don't live like a robot. Don't live like a programmed machine. Sometimes you have to get outside of yourself, especially if you've been living in like a rigid kind of a way. It's important to mix things up, to do something differently, to maybe go a different route home, or maybe you'll see a sign on that way. And it's not just about, I don't know, I feel like I'm talking to somebody that's been living life in just like a one mindset kind of way. Like, it's not just about a one way kind of street to live in life. There's gonna be all different types of, two-way streets, four-way streets. Like, you don't need to just continue going at a certain pace in a certain direction for so long. I don't know if you're making somebody completely just think about life in a different way and just reconsider some things, or reconsider how they've been living, or reconsider how they want to live moving forward. But it just feels like somebody here is, thinking about life in a different way now, or just like reconsidering their journey, or how they want to be present in this world. Everything doesn't have to be groundbreaking. Everything doesn't have to be, like, how do I want to say this? It doesn't have to be so. This is hard for me to explain, because when you encounter other people, and not everybody is as aware as you are, right? And when you're aware of yourself to a certain extent and you're aware of the world, it's harder to create bonds or relationships with people who want to stay asleep and who want to stay in a certain energy and a frequency. And you can never break anybody out of a frequency, but if they notice their own patterns and they notice where they get stuck at, and then they see your energy and your frequency come along for a reason, and they start to get on that kind of frequency and they want to be a part of that frequency, then they'll break out little by little, but in their own way, at their own time, in their own pace. Okay, you can never fully, tear somebody out of the matrix, but you can help them realize, what it is. And then you ask, why can't you really like tear somebody out of the matrix? Why can't you really like help them, see that side of life, or how you live, or how you see the world? It's because it's for them to experience, it's for them to go through, it's for them to work through, it's for them to come to their own conclusion on what's real and what's not, and what they, find important, and what they, should focus on. But you're not supposed to live a life for another, right? You're not supposed to. You can put yourself in somebody else's shoes, right? But you cannot do functions for them. You can't do certain functions for another person. They have to come to their own conclusion when it comes to that. You can just pray and hope that they see, all that what life has to offer, I'm hearing, don't ever think that your work goes unnoticed. Don't ever think that God is not watching you and protecting you. God provides for those who even walk blindly with faith, through faith. God always provides at the end of the day. So you never have to worry if you're going to go without. It's not about going without. Sometimes you need to learn how to go without to build yourself, but it's more so through your experiences, how you affect people, your vibrational frequency, and helping the planet be lighter, because that's a hard thing to do, especially now. But it gets easier, when you have more people like that. Just as they say, there's a lot of evil people in the world, and there's a lot of evil in the world. There's more good in the world. There's more good people in the world. You just have to remember that not everybody starts out that way. Nobody starts out as evil. Nobody starts out as evil, okay? At the end of the day, am I getting a rash? Where did that come from? I swear I did not have that before I started the video. At the end of the day, there are more people in this world that want to do good, that want to be good, more than there is evil. Yes, you are going to encounter people of the opposite, vibration sometimes, but that's more so for you to use your own discernment and choose what path you decide to walk on at the end of the day, so you can see the difference. God does use people to help those people to, choose to be on the good side, as they say, but it's not your job to force them into it, okay? Which, this is interesting message. I was not expecting to get this message when I started, but this could be really significant for somebody here. Your energy could be impacting a lot of people in different frequencies, different levels in their life, different phases and different stages. And I feel like however you do that is, a mystery to some, but it's not so much of a mystery when people feel your energy in the same room with them, when people, talk to you every day, when people have encounters with you, when you speak to somebody, when you do something for someone, when you're enjoying an activity with another. It's just, a lot of good can happen in different ways. It doesn't have to be always so profound, but I personally feel like life is really profound either way, even if it's in the simplest of forms. You don't always have to be so rigid and so serious every single day, but something about your energy is very profound and maybe even prophetic for some people, that it just feels like you're walking in your purpose, you're walking in your light, and nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can tear that away from you, no matter how much the evil tries to. At the end of the day, if you know your purpose and you know what side you stand on with God, nobody can tear you down. They can try, but they can't accomplish it ever. They never will. You guys, it's funny how I'm getting this, but like something about a remembrance of an activation that happened earlier today. I was just thinking about, well, just yesterday, I don't know why, the Roman Empire was coming to me, and then just today, more of the what's it called? the Egyptian era, I guess, the pyramids was coming to me, and it was almost like an activation of just remembering who you are, remembering where you came from, but also just remember to celebrate life, and that is an activator as well. Nothing has to be too grim. Nothing has to be so you don't have to suffer. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to suffer. And I do know, like in Old Testaments of Christianity and some other religions, you are supposed to be a servant of God. And yes, you are a servant of God. That doesn't mean you always have to be in a struggle kind of energy with in regards to whatever you're trying to accomplish or wherever you come from. That's a fear kind of tactic for people to get you. I mean, I understand where it comes from. You need to follow the herd, you need to be, sheep or whatever. But it's because of all the evil that goes on in the world. That's why they get really strict with it. But I understand. I'm not scared of that. It's just if you already know where you come from and you already know you have a voice and you're just remembering that and you know what you stand for and it's always going to be good, the good of all. You don't need to be so afraid to live life and celebrate it as much as you think you do. A lot of people think they're going to be condemned for even celebrating. And I know that sounds crazy, but literally, like, this more so like happens when you come from a strict household or you're raised in a certain religion or you have like frequencies around you that are very strict when it comes to that and they're being controlled, and that's something that they don't want to see, and that's okay. They're going to break out at their own time if they do, if they don't. But I know I'm saying a lot of information right now. Again, you guys, I was not expecting to get this download right now, but it just feels like a lot of activations are happening. Confirmation, the air just turned on. A lot of activations are going on all around the world. All of why am I stuttering? A lot of things are going on right now. Like I'm hearing a lot of pinging going on, and I'm seeing like not the note, but like the drop pin of like locations going on. And it feels like a lot of things are going on right now that are activating people's remembrance of who they are and where they came from, and the kind of energy that you are purposely supposed to be embodying at this time. It's really time for like humanity to rise up. Okay, it's time for us to rise up and unite more so than working against each other and fighting and going to war for things that really don't make any sense or matter. When you break out of it and when you activate your consciousness and your mindset and you really see what is actually going on around the world, you will start seeing how long the government has betrayed you, how long the people that are being brainwashed into believing certain things and falling under certain rules and ways of living to keep you in that fear mindset. Okay, I feel like what we're getting at is just somebody breaking out of the illusion of fear. Okay, for anybody that knows what the word fear stands for, you know that it's just a projection of a feeling that does not exist, that gets you to be, controlled, and it takes over you and your mind, and that's what loops you into believing certain things. And when you start believing in those certain things that you're afraid of and you're projecting it into your own universe, and then that's thrown back into your face to discourage you and to, see if you fall down. There's something going on where you're being activated to remember who you are, remember where you came from, and remember the power that you hold inside of you. Okay, there's something here, like I'm hearing coming home, but being whole again. Like I'm seeing something coming together and like becoming whole again. So having a unity of something made whole again, and because of that, there's something here being activated for multiples. It's like not just one, it's for multiples. Okay, something about your focus is very, very important. I already feel like this collective is focused though, but I feel like you're helping somebody get more focused. I think that's the energy, because we started off this message with somebody wanting to know what you're up to and what you're doing and paying very, very close attention to you, almost like so close to where it could kind of feel like somebody's mimicking your energy, but not on purpose, in a way of like learning, and like tracing their steps, retracing their steps, finding a blueprint, finding a guide, finding direction, or navigation for where they're at. Think of it like that is what I'm hearing. But maintaining your own divinity and your own energy right now is important as well. But I'm hearing something about strengthening you. Something here could be strengthening you. I'm hearing divided but not apart. What is that? Why am I hearing that? I'm hearing you have to understand that there's levels to this. What is that from? I don't know. I don't know if that's from a movie or from an audio. I don't know, but I just heard that you have to understand there's levels to this. I'm hearing you are not alone. I am here with you. That one Michael Jackson song. When you're faced with fear for so long and you're getting projected that every single day for so many years to believe a certain thing or to live a certain way, of course you're gonna have defects as you grow and as you go. I'm saying defects in the way that you perceive certain things. So you might perceive something to be negative when it's actually good for you, okay? Take this as it resonates. Always use your discernment. You're always going to be born with what you feel good and what you feel bad with, bad energy with. Why are you always going to be born with that discernment? Because God gives that to you to decide for yourself, okay? That is the gift of free will. Yes, God knows what you're going to do at the end of the day. He knows all the roads that are going to be presented to you, what roads you're going to take, when you're going to mess up, when you're going to go back, when you're going to do the next thing. But God does lay out that plan for you. God already has your predestined destiny planned out for you and what God hopes for you to do. But God doesn't force you down that path. Sometimes He does. Sometimes God does. Sometimes God forces you into a path that you might not want to go down, or you might not see clearly first, because that could be overall what's best for you. But at the end of the day, God is always going to give you a choice and free will, okay? You're never going to be forced into something you don't want to do unless it's a lesson that you're not seeing or coming to realize that you've been repeating over and over and over again, basically until you get tired of your own, I guess, wrongdoings or your own mistakes in a way. And I don't like using the word mistakes, but that's how I'm like hearing it. I just heard a phone go off. I don't know what's going on. That's why I keep getting like, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you're doing, but it's making a transformation happen. Okay, it's making an activation happen. Excuse me. I don't mean to get so godly on you guys, but part of remembering where you come from, you have to remember, to stay grounded, stay level-headed, stay humble, and always give your thanks and be grateful for where you are, okay? Even if you're not where you want to be yet, if you're a step ahead or if you're a step behind, wherever you are in your journey, just always remember to celebrate life. And I was getting, for a lot of the collective, you could feel like you're celebrating life to the fullest. And if you're not yet, that's okay. It's just something about wherever you are on your journey, wherever you land right now, you should celebrate life regardless, but as little as you can, okay? Don't think of life as so gray and mundane and like a programmed vicious cycle that you have to contribute to, okay? The point is to be divergent. The point is to affect the program. The point is to, infiltrate it from the inside out in ways that you guys never could have even imagined. But that's how God uses people, okay? You guys don't understand how God uses people, okay? In the most randomest ways, the most simplest of things, by the simplest ideas, you guys. You don't have to think so, like, and it is intricate, but like, how else do you think the good wins? You gotta outsmart the evil. So I don't know if you've been feeling like you've been dragged through the mud lately, or you feel like there's no letting up to a storm or to some rain. That is going to end, okay? It's not always gonna last forever. I feel like when it comes down to it, you're supposed to be following your calling, okay? Your true calling. Your true calling. I feel like the way God has positioned people, especially now, you're being forced to really go after the things that you want to invest time into and energy into, because if you continue to do something that drains you, it's like you're letting the evil get to you. You're letting the negativity get to you. You're letting the negativity bully you into believing there's only one way to live, there's only one way to survive, when the good knows that that's a lie, okay? You know what I've been getting projecting all week long is the Wicked movie. And I'm like, why do I keep, I know it's like they have to, like, once they roll out a movie, and especially when it has to deal with big stars, they like put it everywhere at every minute of the day. And I was just like, just now I questioned it, because I'm like, that's one thing that I've been seeing all week is that movie, and like the whole press tour, and just them talking, and hearing the song and hearing the music, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's everywhere. Like, I can't turn my phone on for 1 second and scroll through something without seeing their faces, or without seeing controversy about that movie or something going on. And I'm just like, that is very significant for what is going on today, okay? And if you don't think that is, then I need you to start waking up and looking at it. Some skeptics may say, well, if there's so much good in the world, why is the evil always winning? When God has to herd his sheep and round up his soldiers to prepare to fight, to prepare for the battle, do you know how hard that is? Just like, I want to explain it in a way where everybody can understand what I'm trying to say, because this message was very unexpected. I have my cards out in front of me. I'm not even using them. Because I thought this message was going to be about love, but it is about love. The way that I'm getting this message is interesting. Do you know how hard it is to wake people up from illusion they've been fed ever since they were young, that they keep looping over, and it keeps thickening? Like, the plot keeps thickening, but it keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like being hypnotized. I don't know how it actually works. I mean, I know how it works, but when you think about it, when you're being hypnotized, sometimes you don't even realize it. Sometimes you don't even realize until it's too late that you're already in the trance. You're already under the spell. You're already locked in. And that's what that is. It's like when it gets deeper and deeper and thicker into the hypnosis of it all. Sometimes, like, before, you won't even realize until it's too late. When you start trying to break out of it, though, that's when you'll see the kind of programming act up. That's when you'll get pushback. That's when you'll get the worst of the worst. I'm not gonna lie. And the deeper that you push back into it, that's when you'll see. That's when you'll get like reprogrammed to get even more fear-based things projected onto you. But how to beat it is your vibration. How to beat it is what you surround yourself with daily. Okay, how to beat it is not feeding into the illusions, and it can be quite tricky. Okay, it can be a little bit tricky, but the more you go and you grow and you learn and you'll start seeing it, it'll get easier, obviously. But I mean, it'll never be completely easy. Like, it's not a 1, 2, 3, you know, snap out of it kind of thing. But it's 5:11 right now. It's where was the message going? Basically, you're not alone in this. You're not alone in this. And it's okay if you're still afraid, but there's nothing to be afraid of now. You've already been activated. There's things going on that have already been predestined to happen for you and around you. So letting certain things fall away right now is, I'm hearing, is in your best interest, but it'll ultimately help make that transition smoother for you. Okay. Something about community could be very significant, and then I looked down and I see the connections card. So 29 in connections could be significant. But just remember that the good will always outweigh the evil, and remember to celebrate your life. Okay, celebrate your life. I hope this finds who it's meant for, and I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I will see you in the next message.